chase the leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And
walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are here. town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Invincible.
Good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the live stream. Hope we're all having a great one here. Bitcoin is going nuts, as we can see, up around 123,000 per coin, up 2.11%. It is pulling back a little bit here today, early on, but it's okay. Overall, everything's looking solid. Now, I will say the SPY itself, a little bit weak today, but it is moving up into some bigger resistance and actually broke above 622.50, which I thought was a very solid thing to see here at open. There is some, I would say, more minor resistance here, close to 623.20, very close to that level. I mean, there's been a lot of hits right around that range over the past couple trading days, so that will be one of the bigger levels to look out for here, along with the overhead resistance at 624.50. I think that 624.50 is really where the major level is here, to the upside. We can see the SPY right now is trying to test this 623.20, 623.30 resistance. It is having a little bit of trouble. It might be able to get it done, but is testing it slightly there. Good morning, Marcus, Steve, Juan, Jake, Robert, Michael, Carl, Rick, and Autumn. Let's go. Shout out to the lurkers as well out there. Destroy that like. Let's run it up early on here today. Checking on one of our favorites, Boeing. Up in the green a little bit today, up 2.2%. That's nice to see. Don't forget, we do have inflation data tomorrow, 1 hour before the market opens. So be ready for that. Be careful holding any positions through close tonight. Always want to make sure you guys are aware of that. The earnings are pretty good tomorrow too, with those big banks in the morning. JP Morgan, Citigroup, Wells Fargo. So be ready there. What's up, Jason? Patel, Mr. Wu, Lima. Pulling up the watch list here. BMNR leads the way up 14%. They had some news this morning. Pretty big news. Announced that they're holding $500 million in ETH holdings, Ethereum. Apparently it's over double the initial pipeline investment, which was $250 million. Sounds pretty badass, though, for Bitmine. They actually halted pre-market, and then they unhalted and went nuts. They halted for almost an hour. It was like 49 minutes there. What's up, Yusus? Go check on Robinhood, which is actually up quite a bit this morning. Nice gap to the upside. Thought that was nice. XYZ is doing pretty well. Block. Man, why are they popping off so much here at open? Wow. I noticed they were on the watch list. Let's see what we got going here. Nothing too crazy with Block, at least on the Thinkorswim news. That is a really good opening move. I guess keep getting it done, Block. CoreWeave, CRWV up a little bit, 4.37%. You know, Tilray's up 5% again. This stock's funny. Let's see it on the daily. Okay, it did pull back at the end of last week, Thursday and Friday. But I've been watching them pop the upside recently. We can see if we zoom out a little bit on the 5-minute chart. You can see a lot of those runs here recently. Sorry, I bumped the mic. What's up, Mason? He said, what earnings were this morning? I don't think, it looks like Fastenal. I think that's about it. I'm sure there were some others. Maybe they just didn't deserve to be put on there. Tesla is nuts, Mr. Wu said. Yeah, essentially none, yeah. Like, if we actually went to, like, the Earnings Whispers website, I bet you that there were some here this morning, actually. Let's see. Monday today. Before open. No, there was only one. Okay. I guess there really wasn't very many. Okay, yeah, fast. A lot of times there's ones that they don't mention on that picture, but... Yeah, Fastenal, I think it's like car parts or something, is what I always thought. Let's look it up, Fastenal. Okay, yeah, OEM fasteners. Oh, okay. Okay. Abrasives, fasteners, electrical things. Lubes. Not the kind you're thinking about, though. MSTR, can we see the book map, please? Yeah, sure. Let's see. Got the book map empty today. We're going to build it out. Here it is on the book map. Not going to look at a ton of them here, but I got you, Mr. Wu. I'll trade you a book map for a like. I'm just kidding. You've been watching for a while. Wasn't CoreWeave supposed to go down, Fab said. CoreWeave, CRWV. I was looking at it to the downside. I mean, that doesn't mean that, you know, it has to. It looks like it ended up bouncing off that 124 support, actually, and held up well in pre-market. If we would have opened up underneath 124, though, man, that could have been a great continuation. We called it out last Thursday as a momentum play and ended up playing out really well on Friday. We can see it bouncing off that key level from Thursday, using it as resistance and dying off there, which was nice. Unfortunately, today, that's not the case, but it's okay. You can either adapt or not play. Tesla's nuts. So we got to see Tessie here. They had that huge run up. Now they just pulled all the way back down. Wow. That was a pretty big pullback coming into play there. Let's go see that JP Morgan big money trade. Somebody's asking me about it in Discord. And, you know, I know it's a big money trade that a lot of people have been looking up and eyeing lately. So I'm looking at it pretty hard here. You know, they have earnings coming up tomorrow. It puts a lot of risk on this big money trade. Yeah, I think for right now, if you're not in yet, I think I would just hold off with the earnings here. Obviously, it does put a little bit of risk there. Now, earnings, if they end up being bad, you know, there could be some pretty good downside opportunities here on JP Morgan, but I wouldn't enter just to try to take an earnings gamble. SPY ran up. Ooh, rejected off our resistance there, 623.20. That's a pretty big level. Holding up well so far. Let's go, let's go. Destroy that like. SPY is in a range right now. Here's the bottom end of the range. Here's the top. We've seen SPY get pretty choppy in these lately. Mara's looking good, Mr. Wu said. MARA, 11% there. Mara's looking good. It really is. 10.5%. Pretty straight up from open. The daily looks nice. Very nice movement. That is a huge candle. Looks like the candle from Wednesday, July 2nd. Man, XYZ has been insane this morning. Looking back at it, kind of coiling back up towards the high of day once again. App Lovin' on the radar today. Nice jump there at open. Starting to consolidate a little bit at support. Might get a continuation. Pretty insane setup there. Wow. Yeah, let's go App Lovin'. Steve said he liked this one. Yeah, nice support here. 351. 350 is really like the major support there. I think it's a little choppy here at the top. Hopefully we can get a nice continuation going though. MicroStrategy pulling back, but it's been green today, 3.32%. Watch for it to come down and test this pre-market support around 447. It did just hit 448 and bounce. Pretty decent level there too, but I think 447 lines up much better in pre-market. Tesla dropping to around 315. Tassie moving down 0.61%, 0.63%. Chase says, I go sell my house and SPY is at 598. I come back and it's at 620 something. Yeah, it was pretty quick there on that run up, wasn't it? That's funny. You sold your house though? It's pretty crazy to think that from that dip recently from the tariffs in April, like just at the April low or just close to the low, to the recent high, SPY had a 30% jump. That's pretty good for just a few months. That's like 3 months and a pretty insane jump there. Once it quits raining, I'll go to the library. The library. Under a bridge on Starlink. Damn. I have a Starlink. You could do that. That's funny. You know, it's actually kind of expensive for Starlink if you're getting the one that lets you roam around. If you get one that's like the house Starlink, I think it's a lot better. I'm not sure. I had it with the pricing. I can't remember exactly how much more it was, but either way, let's go check out JP Morgan because they report tomorrow morning before open with Citigroup and Wells Fargo and BlackRock. So we'll check out these few stocks. JP Morgan is up a little bit today. We can see it consolidating very hard on the daily. I know we talked about this one a little bit already. It's kind of contending with this big 290 resistance. I am pretty worried about this one. I could see it falling off. There's been this big money trade here recently as well, so definitely worries me slightly. Another thing, we go check out Wells Fargo. They're kind of in a similar situation where they're consolidating right now or over the past couple weeks, but overall the uptrend has been pretty fantastic. Now today, actually, Wells Fargo is kind of pointing higher. It's right around the upper end of its recent highs, and I would say the upper end of the range. Wells Fargo. And then Citigroup, that's right, C. Good old Citi. sitting around 85 support. This would be a big level to break for them. It was actually a previous high. If they do fall under there, that'd be pretty bad. Zoom in on like a 15-minute chart. You can see all the consolidation here lately. Definitely a lot. Oh, Autumn, no. Autumn says BMNR halted again. Jeez. Yeah, they did here. Halted to the downside, it looks like, this time. Been halted for 2 minutes. They should be back around 9:49 Eastern. Jay said, my buddy's doing the van life for 4 months this summer, and it's crazy expensive. I think it's like $168 a month or something. Oh, is that for the Starlink? Yeah, it is pretty bad. Not as bad as maybe I thought even, but it could probably be worse depending what you did. We'll have to check back in on BMNR in a minute, though. Let's go back to Mara, which was actually on fire. It's posting a red candle now, but look at all these great 1-minute candles here today. Wow. ASTS coming alive, sitting around 46.20. Could maybe be a candidate for a little recovery action. Over the past few weeks, they've been consolidating pretty hard, and today they're starting to pop up a little bit more. They were popping a little bit Friday. They're trying to get back to those levels here today. Mason said, I watched some guy on YouTube. He's got the professional package. He's on some RV adventure. It's supposed to work from anywhere, not just pointed north, and he said it doesn't work. Yeah, it's weird. Like, so whenever I have mine, Mason, I had to put it on the roof, and then I had to go up on the roof, and I had to take my phone, and I had to sit there, and I had to, like, orient this satellite till it was, like, pointed in the right direction. And then that was pretty much it. And then once I did that, then it said it was calibrated or whatever. And one time when it snowed, the snow or the wind, one or the other, it like pushed it over, and I had to go up there and realign it because it was getting bad signal then. But it worked pretty good, I would say, for what it was. Like, if I was in like a camper or something, I'd feel totally happy. The only thing that sucked for it was like live streaming. Honestly, like this stream right here, it had a lot of dropped frames. But other than that, like gaming and watching stuff and everything worked pretty dang good. Like really good. Bank of America, 0.15%. Trying to get some action going. We can see SPY right back up to resistance here, 623.20. Wow, what a pretty, what an insane up and down move. SPY showing its volatility here. Looks pretty bullish, I would say, you know, based off of how it broke above 622.50, how it's testing this recent high again. Does it reject here? This is a pretty quick retest. I mean, Mr. Wu's trying to catch the Uber dip. 94.40, down 1%. Uber. Like Uber, myself. Pretty good support actually coming up around 93.50 where they used to be. Almost looks like a buy the dip situation. Actually not terrible, Mr. Wu. This is not bad. It's getting closer to support. I like your thesis there. You know, the really cool thing I've seen with Starlinks is the people who put them on their boats. That's one of the cooler ones that I've seen. Like, I'm not gonna say yachts, but like, you know, a lot of these boats are real expensive, even though they're not yachts. Walmart bouncing up. 94.50, 95. Pretty nice movement. Although I will say the boat guys don't really give a shit if it costs $200 a month, so. Steve said same with Walmart. Looking at Walmart right now, they're approaching good support. 94. This one does worry me a bit more here. I don't love this overhead resistance that's rejected like 7 times on the daily. This worries me with Walmart that it's actually going to maybe start to break down under the lower end of the range. But it is like right on this, like, we got to go all the way back to the far left. Really, it's at like the lower end of that range. Yeah, we're gonna call it that. Oh, here we go. Everyone's favorite song here. Yeah, exactly, Mason, exactly. 1,000 plus for gas. Man, my dad had a boat, and it was a, I forgot how big. It was like a 28 foot or 30 foot or 32 foot, something like that. And it was a deck boat, they called it. And even that thing, it would be like 300 or 400 bucks for gas. It was pretty insane. At least at the Lake of the Ozarks. Now, sometimes, like, you know, you'd meet people down there, or, you know somebody else. Sometimes we would go on the boat with these other people, and they had, like, it wasn't like a yacht. We'll just call it like a big boat, just a big boat. I don't know how to say it. But, at least for the Lake of the Ozarks, pretty big. I think for the ocean, it would have been normal looking, probably. But, nonetheless, they would actually fill it up. It would be like 1,500 bucks. And the crazy thing was, if you went all out on that boat, like you went fast in it, it would run the tank out in like 1 hour. It was pretty insane. So you could do like, you know, $3,000 and 2 hours of gas if you just like went a little fast. It's like pretty insane. Who sings this song? What's up, Jeanette? This is called, wow, Why We Lose by Non-Copyright Sounds, I suppose. Why We Lose. My in-laws had a resort at Lake Osage. That's pretty cool. Where is that? Is that by like Branson? Okla's looking good, Mr. Wu said. He said Oklahoma's looking good, though. That's funny. Jake. Blame Powell for not cutting the rates. That's what I would say. Blame Powell. Boat, bust out another 1,000. I've heard that before. I've heard someone say that. Life of Chris says AMD. Oklo looks okay. It is starting to reject a little bit at 58. AMD fell off a little bit. Unfortunately, rejected a little bit here this morning. You know, happened pretty early on. It opened up under good previous support, which it's now using as resistance. Unfortunately. Pretty brutal action for AMD today in the chip stocks. I can't wait for TSM's earnings on Thursday. I know everybody's looking at Netflix probably. I personally think TSM will be huge. I'm gonna grab a drink of water here real quick. Give me 1 moment. We're gonna pull up the Mag 7 setup, actually. All right, 1 sec. Oh, Jeanette, that's a really good question, actually. Why would Netflix not do a stock split? I wish that I knew the exact answer there. I remember Amazon used to be like $3,000 a share, and they were never splitting. And they finally did one in 2022, it looks like. It was a 20 for 1. Could you imagine 20 for 1? So you essentially would just take Amazon's current price of $225 and you would times it by 20. So it should be 4,500 right now if it never had that split, which was pretty funny. Chipotle, yeah, that was a big one too. What is their ticker again? I can't believe I just forgot Chipotle's ticker. Bull? That'd be funny if it was Bull. Give me that ticker. I can't believe I forgot. I'm waiting for a split. It's been 10 years, Autumn said. That's funny. Yeah. They're not... It is pretty insane. I remember when I first started trading, I think is when they did their first one. That's like right around when I started. Pretty close. Ah, CMG, that's it. I knew it was something like that wasn't something cool. I guess it's not that bad, it's just... Autumn said BMNR halted again. This time to the upside. Wow, they unhalted and exploded off that last one. Dang. Circle about to hit 192.70, my view says. CRCL. Wow. Let's see that daily. I know it's like... It seems like they're running up. Is that like a pretty big resistance here? I have 200 overhead. Circle doesn't seem like it's having that crazy of movement here. Whenever you zoom in, it does. I'm noticing like 196 is pretty big resistance here before 200, but Tom, what's your thoughts on Bitcoin? New highs and where can it go from here? The sites are endless for Bitcoin. It's hard to say how high it will go. Let's go look at that daily chart. Let's look at like this previous high breakout. Let's see how much it really ran there. And we'll draw it out to like this one. So it ran up like 252% after it broke that high. Now it just broke recent highs again. We'll just say around 70,000. So 252%. Right now it's up. Sorry, I drew it bad. Now it's like 74%, something like that. If we're going off the previous metric of 250% on the run, it'd put it up somewhere around 250,000, which would be pretty crazy. But Bitcoin, it is crazy. You know, it's like the definition of crazy. So it's pretty nuts, like whenever you go back on here. Pretty mind-blowing, if I must say so myself. So it's got a long way to go based off that metric. Where I think it would stop, probably somewhere like 150,000. But like, what's really keeping it down? You know, like it goes on these massive rallies like this. If there's some positive crypto news. Now, if we measured this with just like just measuring it, like just literally cloning this and taking it to here, I mean, it puts the high like literally right around where we are. So I'm not sure. Do you want to go off the measurement? Do you want to go off of the percentage? Tough to say there. If you're going off the measurement, which a lot of people like to do that, it's pretty close right now. It's pretty close. Yeah, CMG, Chipotle. Looking at it on the daily a bit more, it's actually starting to move down a little bit. Let's go see BMNR. Did it unhalt again yet? It did. Getting a little red at first, but let's see how it shapes out. Go back to Tessie again. Testing support, $315. Pretty big level here on Tesla. Definitely keep your eyes open for that. I've been feeling like I've been seeing some pretty crazy news lately. I don't know about you guys. Just seems like there's some pretty crazy news that's been going on lately. Some of the crazier news, I did see a rumor yesterday that Jerome Powell was considering resigning. There's a pretty crazy rumor out there. Now, I guess it's just a rumor, but nonetheless, it definitely was a little bit worrying, I thought. Any thoughts on the copper tariffs? Like wreck the tech stocks? Now that's an interesting situation there. With how much copper goes into these things. It definitely is something to watch out for. Copper's futures is HG, by the way, if you were wondering. It's not working on here. Hang on. The hell? All right, I'll do it on Think or Swim then. Fine. Yeah. /HG. Here we go. Don't know what's going on with TradingView there. Typical probably for them. You can see it has popped up recently with these comments, obviously. Hitting like $5.89. It's definitely an important thing for these tech stocks. I don't think it's going to wreck anything, though. And Steve, keep in mind that, you know, Trump doesn't want them necessarily get wrecked either, because it would make the market look kind of bad. So I know he wouldn't want that. TradingView seems to be goofed up for me, Yusu said. Yeah, it has these problems sometimes where it just doesn't want to load things. It's been a really good platform minus that. Good thing we have Thinkorswim. What's up, Bam? How we doing? My View says Netflix looking strong. Very strong, actually. 1266. 1.68%. It's starting to bounce off the trend line in the short term. Hold back above there, which is nice to see. Yeah, it has. It has, actually. I thought about that. Farming the Oklo daily range. That's what I like to hear. Oklo is starting to hold this support pretty well. Love the way it's holding this, actually. Very nice. Doing pretty good. Feeling solid. I've been wanting to get out there and get some golf in, but been a little bit busy. All my golfing buddies were busy this weekend. I would play alone, but then I just chose to be with the daughter and everything like that. We'll get out there soon. Bulls moving a little bit, Autumn said. Let's go check it. B-U-L-L. Weebull. Nice jump back up there. $12.80. Getting your proteins in. I didn't a ton brain recently because I got sick. Unfortunately, after vacation, I was pretty sick. Played yesterday, went 39 on front, 45 on the back. That's pretty good. So you shot an 84. I like it. He said I folded. Wild turkeys at the golf course? That's pretty funny. Do you not see wild turkeys often, Mason? Man, we have wild turkeys all over by me. Weeble starting to pull back slightly now, unfortunately. Oh, I'm all good now, Brain. It was shitty. I think it was last week, wasn't it? Mason, never seen a turkey except for the ones that I eat. Wow, yeah. If you came where I lived in Missouri, holy shit. I see so many turkeys. It's insane. You could bag 3 turkeys here a year. Probably. They actually get kind of mean. They can. Sometimes I'm tempted to just go outside with the shotgun, Brain, but I'm not really a hunter myself. I don't mind. I just, it's just, I never did it, really, you know. I wouldn't know how to clean the thing. QQQ up to 555. Man, pretty nice action here off the bottom end of the range. But again, holding the top end of the range. So not really that good. I don't know. Not that it has to be perfect, but we can see that QQQ has been bouncing down this line like this. Free food, Autumn said. That'd be so gross. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Mason sent it an off topic. Did you put this on Snap or something by chance? I think I saw this. Oh, yeah. Yep. That is funny. Here it is, guys. Look at this. Is there sound? Did I just hear him gobble? Hang on. Yeah, they were gobbling. That's funny. They can be nice sometimes. Like they won't run away is what I mean. Not that they're necessarily nice, but now I've seen some situations where people get attacked, but that's hilarious. Oh, that was your laugh? I got you. Cleaning them is a bit meh. Yeah, I don't want to clean them, you know. I'll bring it home, but it's just gross. Mason said I'd be scared if they were mean. Man, have you ever seen the wild boars in like Texas and stuff? Man, that stuff can get wild. There might be like 100 of them and they'll like attack you. Mason. Brain said Mason's a wild turkey. That's funny. My grandparents used to always say that. They'd be like, you turkey. Did everyone's parents used to say that? Steve said, I've been to diesel turkey farms when I was a meat cutter. And I seen how they kill them and defeather them. It's wild, Steve said. I got called a pig. Palantir pulling back a little bit, down up 1.79% today, but just slightly pulled back. Tesla actually bounced off of the closing price from Friday, essentially. Holding around 314, 315 very well. If it continues to hold here, it could be a good support bounce. Attacked by wild boars. I've seen it a lot on video. I've seen that a lot, actually. They can, like, really gash your leg open. I've even heard of people dying from it. I think roosters can get you pretty good, too. RKLB made a nice move. Rocket Lab. 41.50. Very nice. Up 6.35%. Let's see if we can find a little opportunity with it today. Seems a little overextended at this point. Got to 42 though after breaking 40. Oh, that was quite the run. Autumn said they'll eat you. They probably would. Those things are wild. I like this Rocket Lab move. It just seems a little overextended at this point, but continue watching it. It seems like 42. It's acted a little weird since it touched 42. Maybe that's a big level here on Rocket Lab. Looking at SPY. Third test of the upper end of this range is starting to happen. Come on, SPY. Let's get this done. That's a pretty big move by the SPY. I love this move on SPY, though. Third test already. This third time gonna be the charm here? We gonna get a triple top? That's the $1 million question, right? So far, it's rejecting, but it just touched. Got to give it a little time here. I'm gonna take away the red box. It's hurting my eyes. Go on QQQ. Moving up very well. It's actually just past break even now. Kind of funny. Tessie, let's hold 314. Like the way it's even holding right here where the arrow is. Really good little confirmation if it continues to hold that. Look at this other wick on the left arrow. That is why this arrow right here holding would be good confirmation. It's a big spot intraday. It's also 315 even, which is pretty big level. I didn't realize that actually bounced off of it twice already today right there. So, yeah, holding that would be pretty good. I don't love it, but... Looking at the watch list here. Tilray is now up 9.7%. That is funny. Why is Tilray moving? Looking at the daily, it's up quite a bit here, especially over the past couple weeks. Wow, they listed off a ton of marijuana stocks. Of course, they're all in like the OTC market, but... CBDMD. Their ticker is YCBD. That's pretty funny. Let's go look at them. Oh my god, it's terrible. I know. I see why they're on the... Oh no, they're actually not on the... Oh, that's funny. I thought they were an OTC for a second. They're actually not. Nope. Trade on Amex. Kind of funny. Just not seeing any news for them today, but they are coming back. How about MSOS? The cannabis ETF has been on fire lately as well. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but from the bottom to the recent top, MSOS rose 56%, which is pretty good. Let's go, Ahmed. I appreciate that. 76 watching, 20 likes. Let's go. Thank you. Yeah, like it up. Let's get higher than that. Think we could see SPY book map, please? For sure, Martin. I'll show you a SPY on the book map. While it loads up, I'll look around. XYZ, one of the bigger movers this morning, block, starting to pull back slightly. All right, here's the book map on the SPY. Zoomed out a little bit. Not a ton of buyers at like 620. Like 621 actually is a pretty good stack. Keep in mind it's an ETF, so you know it's gonna move with the SPX anyways. So it's hard to really look at the book map on SPY and think what you're doing, but. Ha, you misspelled it? That's funny. My view said it's a day before CPI. The SPY movement should be limited. It does seem pretty limited today. It's not my favorite. Does seem very back and forth. Does seem kind of stuck for the most part. Nothing overly explosive. Now, we are starting to get a good breakout here. Starting to happen. Maybe we can get up towards that recent resistance around 624.50. 624 will probably come into play here pretty largely today, though, I would guess. He said Eastern European names are so hard. I couldn't even imagine. I see some of these names on Escape from Tarkov, the video game. My gosh, I don't even know what I'm reading half the time. You would laugh at my pronunciations of some of these things. At the Oculus? What is that? Can you read this? I'm gonna be careful there. I don't know. I don't remember him. Sounds like an old baseball player. It's a family name in Poland. I think it says Saczynski. Saczynski. There used to be some baseball player on the Cardinals named Mark Zaczynski, and it was spelled just like that. Or it was close. Like Zepchinski, maybe, even. There's SPY there. 623.80. Oh, they're doing your eyesight. I gotcha. I didn't know what the hell that... I've never heard anyone call them that before. I think in the US, we just generally call them eye doctors, if I was going to be honest. Is Tesla looking weak in the book map? It looks pretty weak with my own eyes. I just switched to it. Wow. 313. It's pretty rough looking if I had to say so myself. Let me turn on Tessie here. A lot of sellers over buyers, Mason said. Really? Oh, yeah. There's a lot of sellers stacking up around 320 right here. It's starting to break under and through a lot of these big buy walls here, so that's not very good to see either. It does seem generally more weak here, looking at the book map, if I had to be honest. That's interesting, Brain. Always seeing different things from different places. TSLA. I don't love how it broke that low of day. Nvidia selling down off the 164 resistance as well. Touching and actually moving back down lower. Could maybe find some opportunity to the downside here, trying to play the rejection. Doesn't really look terrible. AMD has been recovering a lot. Looks kind of like Nvidia though. Back up into resistance here. Take profits as Carvana and then Car. Avis Budget Group. I have not looked at this one in a long time. Avis, they are like rental cars, right? Believe so. CVNA. You must like this sector. Carvana getting a little weak. Looking at the 5-minute, yeah. Slightly weak on the 5-minute as well. Not too crazy, but really not the best thing to see. Guys, when is the home run derby? It says, oh, it's today. No shot. I gotta do my betting. Hang on. I always do a nice bet on this one. I'll usually do a pretty good one, too. Home run derby, here we go. They have O'Neal Cruz really high. Man. I wanted to bet on him. He's plus 330. Darn it. That's the one I would have thought. I think it'll either be O'Neal Cruz, Brent Rooker, or Matt Olson. I could see those three. I want to see Byron come out and win it, but I don't think he's gonna. Byron Buxton. He's been pretty hot lately. Bet O'Neal Cruz. Man, that's what I was thinking. O'Neal Cruz is the one that I wanted to bet on. I think he's a hot bet because he hits the ball really hard all the time. He has a crazy exit velo. Palantir up to 146. Palantir might go for a new high of the day here. Oh, he's the favorite to hit the farthest one, too? Oh, that's cool that they have it where you can do that. Oh, yeah, I didn't even know this stuff. Okay. Oh, man. You can just bet on him getting to the finals even, which is pretty good. It's so funny. The bet to make the finals, they have Acuna up there. Didn't Acuna drop out? He dropped out, right? They're still allowing bets for him. That's so dumb. Yeah, that's crazy. NBIS pop early. Let's see, NBIS. That's pretty brutal. Nebius group. They had a good pop, but they are pulling back here. Not my favorite intraday setup. If we just like draw the trend down, I guess. It's not the worst. Yeah, no Acuna. What the heck? Gosh, do I do Olsen and Rooker? Those are some good odds. Plus 850, plus 850. Amazon Take Profit said AMZN. I love the way it's holding that lower support here, 225. This actually is a pretty good setup on Amazon. I actually like this one quite a bit. This range that it's holding here is great this morning, and wow. This is actually where we saw a ton of bounces on Friday as well. We can see right here, I'm going to circle a lot of them. Very solid. BA's about to make a beast run? You think so? Boeing? They were pretty good this morning. Did they pull back or something? Let's go look. Said about to make a beast run. Yeah, they did pull back. Let's look at it on the daily. It's been running pretty good. You know, it's in a big zone, which is awesome. This zone with Boeing saw a lot of action in the past. I could see it filling the gap up to 242, 240, something like that. That would be pretty awesome. Man, that lower range and that lower trend line down there is really good on Boeing. It holds up. It's been holding up very well. They've been in such a weird pattern since selling off at COVID. It's so weird. They've been stuck. They've had a lot of negative news the past couple of years. They're lucky to be coming back from this as good as they are. I'm not going to call them lucky, but, you know, they had some, like, one of the worst strings of bad news there for, like, a year and a half. Some of the worst bad strings I've ever seen, probably. Big wall on Palantir at 146, but entered anyways. Palantir 146. Yeah, it's a pretty big wall. It does seem pretty strong here today, though. Like, it could go for a break. I could see a break going on, honestly. It's looked really good. Do you know what I need to? Do you know what else I need to figure out? What does the Atlanta ballpark favor as far as like handedness here? Does Atlanta favor lefties at all? Sorry about that. Had to fix something there. I swear I wasn't looking up the ballpark. I swear. Had to help some lady get in the Discord server here. Mason's telling. What's up, Demure? Good morning, good morning. How we doing? How are we doing here? Hope you're having a good one. Yesterday, Boeing had good news. There was a crash in London airport. The good news for Boeing is that it was not their flight. That's terrible, my views. It almost sounds like a joke. I know you probably don't even mean it like that, but it sounds kind of weird. W. Demure made a little money on some covered calls. That's what we like to hear. Take profits at XRP at $2.99. $3 essentially. Wow, there we go. XRP needs to get above 3 and get up to like $5. That would be cool. I would take a $5 move here on the XRP. Where's my old XRP drawings at? The heck? How come I can only go back to like 2023? What is going on here? Ah, here we go. The Bitstamp data has more. Hang on. What's going on here? Bitstamp. There they are. Okay, I was gonna say I was on a different layout. That's funny. I was gonna say I've had drawings on this chart since 2017. I swear to God. Pretty funny, actually, how it's moved since then. Look at how I even kept this purple trend line on there. You know what's kind of funny is it actually bounced off that trend line a lot over the years. That actually was the recent low, funny enough. Granted, I would say it lines up more with this support range than it does the trend line, but nonetheless, I find that just kind of funny. It's kind of ironic. $3 here. That's pretty huge. Tom, do you see that fight? Yes, I did. The fight with the golfers on the golf course, it was so weird. Kind of funny, I thought. I liked how the hockey player was like, bang, bang, every time he punched the guy. Or bam, I can't remember what he said. Yeah, threw him in the lake. That one guy was so drunk. Why would he keep attacking that guy? That was crazy. Spy showing the middle finger? It really is. Definitely a weird setup here this morning. You know what we did here earlier? Who suggested that earlier? Was it Mr. Wu, maybe? Or was it my views? Somebody said something about the market going flat ahead of the CPI data tomorrow, which is going to be huge. So let's look at it a little bit. The CPI data, what are we looking like here? The inflation rate year over year, sitting around 2.4% on the last reading. Inflation has actually been very low. Very, very low recently. Now, I'm not going to call it the lowest ever, but we can see that, you know, compared to these recent highs of like 9%, 8%, 6%, sitting down here around 2.3% isn't really that bad. The only case in which like we would get inflation much lower, like, is if we started doing something crazy because of COVID, right? That would be really, I think, where the crazy factor comes in there. Let's just go from 1970 to now. We can see that the inflation right now is, I would say, right around the median. You know, it's really not terrible. It's not like the lowest ever. It's not the highest ever. Again, like right around what I would call the median. Now, if it could get to 2%, that would be nice. I'm not sure that Powell even thinks it can. I think he pretty much said it couldn't. It got pretty close recently, but did start to pop up a little bit more from there. Nonetheless, they are looking at it to come in a little higher at 2.6%. So if we get a slight pop out of the inflation rate year over year and it goes up to 2.5%, that might not be too bad. But if we see 2.6, 2.7, that's where things get a little bit rough. Now, 2.6 is right on the estimate. This is exactly what the analysts are thinking. So it's really, even though it's a pop, it's not going to be too bad unless it comes in over this number. 2.7, 2.8, 2.93. Now, if there is something crazy where, let's say, inflation jumps with all of this tariff pressure, then that would be a big deal here. We don't really want to be seeing the inflation rate jump much more than 0.2%. If that's the case, it'll be looking a bit rough. The core inflation rate year over year, they have the forecast at 2.9, so they're probably expecting that one to come in slightly higher as well. Nothing too nuts, honestly. If it comes in under 3%, I know that if it comes in at like I said, over that 2.6% estimate, it'll probably scare the market. We'll probably see a bit of a drop. The question is, though, do we see that? Do you think it'll come in hotter than that? I personally do not. If you had to ask my opinion, I think that inflation's been staying pretty solid the way that it's been going. I don't really see like a crazy jump here. I think it'll be right around the estimate. Or maybe even a little less. If it was a little less, it'd be pretty surprising. See you later, my views. Waiting for Tesla at 300 and BABA still not at 98. You're waiting for Tesla at 300 and you want BABA to 98. BABA did jump back up again today. That's funny. Come on, BABA. Hit 98 for take profit. I don't mind. I'm not a really big trader of BABA myself, but I'll root for it for you to get to your 98. Because I'm such a nice guy. Tesla. Yeah, bad rejection today for Tessie, unfortunately. Watching support at 314. I made some really good food yesterday. You guys are going to be surprised. I didn't make it technically. My wonderful fiance made it. She made, I actually cook, I would say 90% of the meals now, but she made a, what do we call it? Crap, I forgot the name of it. Here it is. It's shepherd's pie is what it is. Yeah, I could not remember. It's like a Gordon Ramsay favorite. He really likes that one. There goes Palantir, though. It was strong. Got right through that high of day. Wow, let's go. Let's go, Palantir. This is great. Love the way Palantir's setting up here. 146 for that breakout. That is sick. Palantir. Love the action, though. Let's go over to the Mag 7 setup. Eye up a few stocks here. Microsoft holding above $500. That was one that I was keeping on the radar fairly close for today. If they dipped down a lot this morning, I was going to watch for a $500 bounce. Now, they did bounce off of it in pre-market, but at open, they just never got that continuation down there towards 500. They stayed choppy within this zone. We can almost draw it out here. Kind of funny. The old Hellcat song. SoFi could be in a buy range, Jake said. SOFI. They have been doing pretty hot lately, too. They are falling down today. You said in a buy range right now, though. They are getting there. I really like this $20 to $20.30 range myself. It does seem like that wick today extended pretty close to there. I didn't really love how it got underneath 2060, but it ripped right back above it. This is a pretty weird setup today with the way in which it like wicked and is like bouncing up here. This is pretty insane, actually.
Like a Hellcat.
Tesla hitting around 320, 322, bouncing back down. Did anybody figure out the ballpark yet? Just kidding. I just randomly thought about it again. I did over 154.5 homers for the first round. Holy shit. Those are some pretty crazy stats. 8 guys, it's 19 homers a guy. Wow, interesting. They must have a lot better ones on those bookies in the legal states. I'm still stuck on the offshore bookies, Mason. For now, it's legal in Missouri, but DraftKings isn't yet. Or nobody is, really. Total for all the derbies, like 239? Oh, wow. Autumn said most parks favor righties. Do they? I didn't know that. I guess I never think about it that way. I know, like, Yankee Stadium is pretty good for lefties, but that's just that. All right. QQQ is going nuts. All right, whatever. I did it. We did Matt Olson and Brent Rooker. That's what we did. I don't even care about the park. Those are my two. It's locked in. Did you see adding Uno? I actually did see that. I did see that. You know, I actually did something, guys, something funny. I actually went to the casino. I haven't been there in a long time. On Friday, me and my buddy went after the Cardinals game and played Ultimate Texas Hold'em. It was kind of fun. We actually put our money together and just decided to split whatever we won. It was a fun one. We actually we actually stayed there till like 2 in the morning. It was kind of funny. I went, holy shit, bro, it's 1 a.m. And he goes, what? He goes, I gotta get up at 7 tomorrow. And I was like, oh no. Get up at 6, actually. I think he had to be there at 7. It was funny. Ultimate Texas Hold'em, Autumn. River City is the one I went to. I think it might hit 165 soon. That's awesome. Let's see, NVIDIA. 165 today is not very unrealistic, Demure. It's pretty close. It'll just have to get above this resistance here. It's having its trouble here. Yeah, it's a pretty wild, it's pretty wild how the time can go in there. I actually mainly just watched him play, funny enough. I only played for a little while. Watching 314 bounce on TSLA. Looking like 320 at 322 resistance overhead's pretty huge there. 165. Pretty good, though, on NVIDIA there. I do like Tesla. This support range around 313, 314 is starting to hold up really well today. It's still holding for the morning. It's looking like a decent dip buy opportunity. The risk reward could be good. If you dip under 313, you cut. It's really not terrible. Go look at our watch list again. BMNR is at 20%. I know that they've been there today a lot, but figured I'd check back in. Rocket Lab was pretty good earlier. Man, once it slowed up, it just slowed up a little bit. I remember we looked at it at first. It was like 41.50. Kept going pretty well, but did ultimately slow up. What do you think? CoreWeave, CRWV, sold off pretty good last week. It started popping up this morning again, though, pretty well. Looks like there's a big resistance here overhead at 135.50. Do I really see 135.50 breaking today and CoreWeave going on a massive ripper above here or anything? I really don't. You know, this is a big level for CoreWeave. It's also just a huge resistance. I mean, resistance is made to be broken. It probably will break at some point. I don't think that buying in right here and just waiting for the break is the smart thing to do. You know, there is this like little intraday range kind of going on between here. You know, you could buy at the lower end of the range here in my smaller circle, and you can try and hold it up into the upper end of the range and then sell it here for like a very quick scalp. Now, I'm not sure that you'd want to, like I said, continue doing that. Eventually, I feel like it could reject down out of this range back towards 130. And I think waiting for like a 130 buy opportunity would be the really smart way to go here today. Or simply, if there is enough momentum that the resistance breaks, hopefully there's enough that you can get in there and ride the wave, so to say. I really like that 130 support, though, down here. This is looking really good. If we could get a bounce there today. Like I said, though, you know, if you're a quick scalper, you could try to target it somewhere here and then sell it out pretty quickly up here. It's definitely a good strategy. I mean, a lot of people like to run those smaller scalp strats like that, and it can work out really well, honestly. Ahmed says, what does head and shoulders mean? Bullish or bearish? Sorry, a noob here. So a head and shoulders pattern is generally bearish, but you have inverse head and shoulders, which is bullish. I'll show you what they are. Here, I'll do it in a funny way for you even. So like, we'll look at the SPY here. All right, so if we're going to do a regular head and shoulders, this is what it would look like. The price action would look something like this. Generally, this is what it would look like. It looks kind of like mountains or something, right? The main point here is that there's good resistance on what they call the neckline, or I even like to call it the shoulder line, whatever you want to call it. Usually pretty good support / resistance there. In this case, well, I don't want to just give numbers, but, you know, because it's just a random SPY chart, but this is what it would be, and, you know, you got your head, and then ultimately, you got like your shoulders here. Like a person, you know. Like that. And it's pretty much bearish. And then you just pretty much just flip that over for the inverse head and shoulders. So you would just go like, bam. Something like this. Would be an inverse head and shoulders. It's the same thing, just upside down. You'll see those patterns a lot. You'll notice that they don't like to play out a lot either. Those patterns, you know, you can notice them and Play them, of course. Just be smart with them. Demir's out of here. PC later, Demir. KJ, I'm up 400% on SBET calls. SBET. Sharplink Gaming. Yeah, this one was on fire, I noticed last week. We were looking at it here even. Maybe you mentioned it, KJ, but nonetheless, it's moving up again. That is crazy. Glad to hear you're up, though. 400%. I'm going to give you some dubs in the chat. I don't know what you paid for those options, but I got to say, 400% deserves some dubs. Nonetheless, that's pretty fire. My fiance texted me and said, I hope you win on the bet. I was laughing. She must have been listening. Dang, I gotta bounce, friends. My stepmom called and told me my dad's in the hospital. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, well wishes, Autumn. Well wishes there. Hope everything's all good. See you tomorrow. Or in the Discord. Do you see coin at $300 this week or next week, K-Rose said. Do I see coin to $300 this week or the next? Coin 300. That's pretty low. I don't know about $300 on coin. In 2 weeks? My gosh, that'd be quite the turnaround. I don't love that outlook there, K-Rose. That's a little too far away. I mean, I would say within 2 weeks, the most I'd be willing to say is like 330. I would say something like that. Oh, you meant to say 400. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Only one dub in the chat for KJ's SBET? Come on, guys. Get those dubs out there. Let's go. That's 400%. That's pretty good. Is there a new Motorola Razr out? I feel like I hear about a new one of those every couple years. What's up, Ryan? Michael. There we go. How's Hims looking to you? KJS. HIMS. Pretty good, actually, in the short term. I've been eyeing them up on this dip. I noticed that they had a pretty big dip recently, and they've been trying to recover back, but I'm a little skeptical about them just filling the gap like all the way back up to 60 right away. So I'm definitely a little worried that the turnover continues to play out. But I do think that after it turns over, we'll start to see like a better bounce back to the upside here. I do think we could start to see that as well. CTM's moving nice for the penny stock players, Ryan said. CTM. Castellum. 13% actually. Looking at the daily, they've been actually holding pretty well. Okay. Pretty flat if I had to say, but holding its ground. And recently it bounced right off of $1, which is pretty Hot, if you had to ask me. I love that. Fair value gaps being tried on HIMS. Yeah, it is. That's a big resistance that it's at. Very large range where that gap is. Let's go check on MicroStrategy and Coinbase. MSTR. Little negative from open, unfortunately. It popped right at open, but has fallen since. Same thing with Coinbase. Hopefully we can get some crazy price action going tomorrow with the CPI data that's set to release. Let's see a nice poll here. What do you guys think about the CPI data? Let's pull out the poll. Also, while you vote, destroy that like. We're at 30. Let's see if we can hit 40 likes. We only need 10 more. Only 10. 10 more. Will the market move positively or negatively from CPI data? Positive move. Negative move. Or we'll just say neutral. Yeah, we'll stick with 3. Positive move, negative move, or neutral move. I'm curious to see what you think on the CPI data tomorrow. Which way will the market move following the CPI? Will it be positive, negative, or neutral? CTM has earnings tomorrow? Uh-oh. I didn't know that. They're supposed to be profitable for the first time. With them running up into it, they better hold up and they better actually be profitable.
Water, so I'm going mainstream. Yep. I'm going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Woo.
Sorry about that. To help someone real quick. CTM. That's a pretty crazy stock, though, I gotta say. Intraday here, 13%. Pretty awesome movement for them. Lots of pretty crazy moves today, though, I gotta say. HIMS has continued really well. Up to $51 at the moment. Serve continues to chop around at the top of the watch list. 6.8% there. You know, one that has climbed that wasn't there at first, I didn't notice anyways, was SMR. SMR starting to come back a little bit more. XYZ was pretty fun, but it slowed up. Cook, moving pretty well this morning. Cook. Traeger. Pretty funny stock. Down around $2 right now. Traeger. You guys know these guys, right? They make the pellet smokers and those deals. Pretty crazy stock, though, the way it's moving here. $2.03. Pretty insane. CTM again. Castellum. Daily looks really good, I gotta say. I mean, it's holding its ground. Looks awesome. I like that $1 bounce too. Can't go wrong with a nice level like that. Checking in on Bank of America here, nothing nuts. Trying to test the upper end of its range here. I'm seeing if these banks try to make a move before earnings. Looks like JP Morgan looks pretty green today. It's not fantastic, but we'll just call it pretty green. Oh boy. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. Helping somebody out again. In 1 sec. Some people have a lot of problems with Discord. Discord is like rocket science for some people, I've noticed. I get it, though. We were all there. What price do you think Bitcoin hits in the next few months, CT said? Bitcoin, BTC USD, I'm looking more like 130,000. I don't really see it going much higher than that quickly. Well, hell, I mean, it just ran up 20,000 in 2 days, so what am I talking about? But nonetheless, I don't know, somewhere like 130,000 I see is a bit of like the peak in the short term. I might be wrong, though. There could be some pretty insane runs on Bitcoin CT. Very difficult to call the top on this one. I would say within like 2 to 3 months, though. Yeah, I'm looking like 130 myself. If the run really gets crazy, like, and I mean like, it gets crazy, maybe I'll be looking like 150,000. I don't really see much more than that, though, myself. If anything could do it, though, Bitcoin has been the one thing that could prove to you that it could move in a crazy way and beat out probably what people think most of the time. Oldies who started on IRC and MSN. The biggest problem that we've noticed is the in the Discord, whenever you first join, you have to verify yourself, and that part really messes with people. But it's important to have. But I would say like 50% of people have that problem. It's a common one. Go check on Citigroup here. Exactly, yeah, Brain. That's why it's there, if anyone's wondering. To keep the army of mics away. At least it helps. I think Bitcoin can hit 3K in the next 2 years. Am I crazy? 3K? You probably mean to say 300K. It's really not that crazy. I would say the only thing crazy about saying that is the 2-year time frame. I think that's the only crazy part. I don't think that it would get to that from here. Myself. When was the recent Bitcoin halving? I can't remember. I'll get it. Don't worry. ChatGPT to the rescue. It was on, it says mid-April 2024. It says April 19th. Some sources cite April 20th, depending on the block's timestamp. Gotcha, okay. So April 19th. Yep, that's pretty much where I thought. 2024. Did really good following that halving, I gotta say. After the past couple halvings, it also did really good. Started getting explosive. Go back to the one from 2016 even. You know, it got shaky for a little while, but then went boom. Kind of exactly what happened here. In this scenario, it got shaky for a little while and then exploded. You know, here's it getting shaky, and you can see the explosion starting to happen. A bit more now, anyways. Of course, it exploded well in October, November 24. Funny, it happened on 420. Did it actually? I didn't even think about that. That's pretty funny. I didn't even think about that at all. Yeah, it's pretty good. JPM's going? Is it really? JP Morgan trying to get it going there. There we go. 288 breakout. That's what we want to see. That is what we want to see. Let's go. JPM has earnings, right? Yes, tomorrow before open. So if you hold it overnight tonight, it's going to wake up to some crazy movement tomorrow probably. So be ready for some craziness there. Yeah, JP Morgan. It is moving pretty well right now, up to around 288. I think we need to be careful of 290 and even $300 resistance, but here in the short term, 288 is very critical here in the ultra short term, like past few trading days. A lot of good touches and hits there, so it'd be really crucial to get above there, I'd say. Don't forget CPI data tomorrow, 1 hour before the market opens. It's a crazy day tomorrow between the earnings in the morning and then between the economic data in the morning as well. It's going to be a wild open. Make sure you're here for the live stream. Make sure you're subbed up if you're new. We're probably going to end the stream here. I appreciate everybody joining up. Let's go, let's go. Appreciate it. Hope we all had a good morning here. I'm going to go eat some shepherd's pie for breakfast. Haha. That's how you get your calories in right there. Let's go back to the Mag 7 setup one more time here before we hop off. Eyeing up SPY, it's at 623.80, nothing too crazy. Nvidia has been pretty positive here, but the rest have been pretty shaky. Google looks pretty flat. Tesla looks pretty flat. Apple, at least over the past 30 minutes or so. Meta it was actually trying to get some pop going. What is going on with Meta? I feel like I can't talk today, but let's see Meta. Yeah, it's been trying to recover up pretty well, holding actually 716.50 support that I've had. Good bounce right there today. Now, the negative is that it did bounce off resistance, unfortunately, but pretty big level. Brain said Epstein files being released too. Are they actually? This is pretty crazy. I don't know that I heard about that. He goes, nah, that's never coming out. That's kind of what I thought. I was like, you got me out here looking this up now? That's funny. You got me. All right, see you guys later.